Hello everyone. Today, let's dive into the fascinating and sometimes hilarious world of body language. You know those moments when someone gives you a look and you think, okay, did I just say something weird or is that just their face? Well, sometimes that's culture at work. Let's get into it so that you can avoid those awkward miscommunications and seriously boost your English communication skills. Why does body language matter? Think about your communication this way. Body language is like the accent and tone of your words. It adds layers of meaning, attitude, and unspoken signals that can completely change the interpretation, even if the words themselves are perfectly fine. Imagine saying, "That's great," with genuine enthusiasm versus with heavy sarcasm. That's great. Body language is your communications soundtrack, and it varies widely across cultures. Since we're all about being fantastic global communicators around here, understanding some of those cultural differences isn't just a fun language nerd party trick. It's actually a way to communicate and connect effectively, build trust, and avoid misinterpretations across international teams or when traveling. So, understanding body language is a serious level up for your English communication game. Common mishaps. All right, let's talk specific examples because this is where things can get really interesting and sometimes hilarious. Take eye contact, for example. In many Western cultures, it's seen as a sign of respect and shows that you're engaged in the conversation. You make eye contact with your teacher, your boss, your date. It's all good. But travel to some Asian countries and that same prolonged eye contact might actually come across as a bit confrontational or even disrespectful, especially from someone younger to someone older. It's like staring someone down in a challenge. Now, imagine you're at a market in Iran. You just bought a sweet rug and you flash the vendor a big happy thumbs up. Well, instead of a smile and "you're welcome," you might get a confused stare or even a raised eyebrow. Turns out the good old thumbs up that we all use in the US for all good or great job is actually considered an obscene gesture in places like Greece, the Middle East, and even parts of South America. Oops. So you see how a simple misunderstanding can turn a positive interaction a little bit awkward? The key takeaway here is that these little nonverbal cues can have a big impact on how our message is received. It's a good reminder that even when we're speaking perfect English, our body language can be speaking a completely different dialect. Culture focus. Now let's put a little spotlight on Japan, because here's a culture where body language is so incredibly nuanced. Bowing is practically an art form. The angle, the depth, the duration, the repetition. It all carries a complex message about social hierarchy, respect, and even the occasion. A quick little hello bow is vastly different from the deep bow of apology. Knowing even a tiny little bit about this tradition shows immense respect and tell those that you're interacting with that you're invested in understanding their culture. And hey, bonus points if you get the hang of their subtle head nod. Sometimes instead of yes or no, the Japanese use specific head nods to indicate they're listening, considering things, or even subtly disagreeing. Talk about a whole other language to decipher. Of course, Japan is just one amazing example out of dozens of unique ways body language is used around the world. We can't cover every single culture in this one lesson, so here's your homework and where this gets extra fun. Pick a culture. Maybe it's a place you'll travel to, a company that you're interested in, or just a part of the world that fascinates you. Do your research. Start digging online for resources about body language in that culture. What gestures are common? What's considered taboo? Then observe. So if possible, watch videos of people from that culture interacting naturally. Pay close attention to how they use their bodies to communicate. This extra digging is a super engaging way to truly absorb these nuances. Navigating differences. So what do we do when all these cultural variations start to feel overwhelming? Here's your action plan. Become a body language detective. Pay close attention to how people around you move and interact. What seems to be common within their cultural group? Are they big on gestures? Do they maintain close personal space or a wider distance? Observe and learn. Don't be afraid to clarify. If you're genuinely unsure about a gesture's meaning, asking a trusted friend or colleague from that culture is absolutely okay. In fact, it's even encouraged. Phrasing it like, I noticed you do this. Can you explain what that means? Show your interest in learning rather than assuming. Most people appreciate this kind of open curiosity. Become a research ninja. So there's so much information out there detailing the nuances of body language in different cultures. If you're traveling for business, prepping for a meeting with people from a new culture, or you just want to expand your knowledge, do some targeted research. This makes you a more culturally savvy communicator. Let's ditch the fear of missteps and instead let's embrace the culture of decoding these nonverbal cues. It's a fantastic way to build stronger connections across cultures and between cultures. Okay, I know this all might sound a bit overwhelming, but don't worry. Here are a few super easy ways to become more aware of cultural body language and start avoiding those miscommunications. Context is key. While it's helpful to learn the rules of body language in different cultures, always remember that context matters immensely. A gesture on its own doesn't always tell the whole story. It doesn't paint the full picture. Consider the situation, the relationship between the people involved and those who are engaged in social interaction, and any other nonverbal cues you're picking up on. Individual variation. It's crucial to remember that not everyone within a culture will adhere perfectly to the norms. Individuals have unique personalities and communication styles too. So while it's good to be aware of broad cultural tendencies, don't assume they apply uniformly to every single person you meet. Mirroring with caution. One technique for building rapport across cultures is to subtly mirror the body language of those that you're interacting with. For example, if they lean in slightly during a conversation, you might do so too. However, please proceed carefully, as overdoing it can come across as mockery instead of respect. The power of self-awareness. Pay close attention to your own body language. Sometimes we are most worried about misinterpreting others, but your own unconscious gestures might also be sending unintended signals. Be aware of your own default nonverbal habits and adjust them slightly when in cross-cultural settings to avoid confusion. Let me leave you with one more fun example. Consider handshakes. You'd think something so universal would be simple, right? Well, even with this basic greeting, there are hidden cultural rules at play. For example, in some Western cultures, a firm handshake signifies confidence and professionalism. But go to certain parts of Asia, and that same firm grip might come across as way too aggressive. And then there's the pump factor. A few quick shakes are standard in the US, but in some countries, a longer handshake is a sign of warmth and genuine connection. And who initiates the handshake can also matter. In some cultures, it's expected that the older person or person of higher status will reach out first. Do you see how even the simplest, most familiar act of communication can be loaded with potential misinterpretations? This is why cultural body language is endlessly fascinating and equally important. And it's also a reminder of why honing your overall communication skills is so crucial. Good communication is not just about the words you choose, it's about the entire package. And speaking of improving your communication skills, I want to let you know about a fantastic resource. If getting culturally savvy and becoming a more effective, confident communicator in English sounds like a goal for you, check out explearning Academy. It's a professional development platform specifically designed to help you boost your communication skills and social fluency. That means better work outcomes, stronger relationships, and just feeling more confident navigating the world. We even have a small group coaching program where you can get targeted practice and personalized feedback on things like cultural body language, which is so rare and valuable. And you can find out all the details at our website by going to academy.explearning.co. I have a link for you in the description down below, so check it out if you're interested. Okay, team, your turn. Tell me in the comments down below about a time that you've had a body language mix-up because of some cultural stuff. Was it hilarious? Was it awkward? We've all been there. So don't be shy, share your experiences, and let's learn together. Understanding body language is like a secret communication superpower. So hit that subscribe button if you want more tips on navigating the awesome and complex world of English communication. I'll see you next time for our next video. Bye for now.